Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another informative edition of the Europe and UK Scholarship Series, which marks the fourth session for the year 2026. We officially launched the series in September 2025, and to date, we've hosted 8 live sessions covering various countries and scholarship pathways. All of our previous sessions are available on our YouTube channel for those that would like to catch up or revisit them. And just to remind us, this series was created as a space for honest conversations, personal experience, and practical guidance for students that are seeking scholarship and study opportunities across Europe and the UK. And I just want to appreciate everyone that has followed us from the beginning to this very moment. I just want to say thank you for your continued support. And for those that are joining us for the very first time, you are welcome. I am Omobolanle Kalenikoshe, the host for the Europe and UK Scholarship Series, which is an initiative of the Agri Scholars Mentoring Hub. All right, so tonight's session is a special one as we focus on scholarship opportunities in Hungary. I know this is one of the countries that are mostly overlooked by aspiring scholars, and we need to tell people that there are a lot of opportunities out there that they can explore in Europe. So whether you are planning to pursue a master's degree or a PhD abroad, I'm excited to inform you that Hungary offers a range of funded scholarships that provide access to reputable research-driven universities with affordable living costs and a supportive academic environment for international students. This session is designed to help you clearly understand what scholarship opportunities exist in Hungary, how the Hungarian scholarship system works, and how to position yourself competitively as an international applicant. But before we proceed, I would love to get to know who is in the room with us tonight. Please take a moment to introduce yourself in the comment section. Kindly share with us your name and the country which you are joining us from. So we are waiting for you to actually engage with us. Okay, thank you, Ajibola. I think you are the first participant that is joining us. Thank you for joining us from Nigeria. So we look forward to more people to actually introduce themselves in the comment section so we can welcome you accordingly. But yeah, also, if you know anyone that is going to benefit from this conversation, please feel free to invite them. You can share the event link, like you can post it is on our event page. You can repost on your timeline or any of your social media space. I believe someone enlightenment about scholarship opportunities can actually start with you. So while we are waiting for people to introduce themselves in the comment section, would like to officially open this session with a short opening prayer, which is our custom, just to acknowledge the presence of God in our midst. Our Father and our God, we thank you this evening. Thank you for the opportunity to reconvene from last year. Thank you for the success that we were able to achieve. Father, we thank you. We appreciate your holy name. And as we've come to learn again together on this platform, we pray that as many that will be joining us, Lord God, the wisdom, the knowledge to navigate their scholarship process journey and how to go about the process, Father, you grant unto them. And at the end, Lord, we want to have full cause to glorify your holy name. For in Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Yeah, so thank you so much once again. You are welcome to tonight's session. Victor, thank you for joining us. Ikechukwu Victor from Nigeria, thank you. We really appreciate you. I believe so many people would also be joining from YouTube and other of our space, but because of our time, we just want to go straight into the night. All right, so I want to introduce our speaker. For many of us, you might be familiar with us at the face, and you might have been following her on LinkedIn. So tonight, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker in person of Esther Idogwu. And Esther is currently a PhD student in plant biotechnology under the Stipendium Hungarian Scholarship, and she's previously a FAO Hungarian government scholarship awardee. Esther has been able to navigate this scholarship process, being a two-time recipient of the scholarship in Hungary. And as a result, she's going to share with us practical guidance, lessons learned, and actionable tips that can help you avoid certain mistakes and strengthen your applications if you're interested in applying for the Hungarian scholarship. So yeah, so just join me to welcome Esther. So Esther, thank you for joining us. We are delighted to have you here. Okay. In between, I see people joining us. Latifa, thank you for joining us from Nigeria. Okay, Oluwaseun, thank you for joining us. So please do well to repost our event page so we can have more people to join us for this session. I know you can always rewatch it, but it's always good to follow sessions like this live so you can ask your questions. Okay, Esther, let's just go ahead. My first question this evening for you is actually about your personal journey. What led you to study in Hungary, and how did you discover scholarship opportunities? I believe it's not something that is very big out there. So, how did you come about these opportunities?
All right. So first of all, thank you, Bolanle. Yes, you're my friend, but I would say thank you for having me here. Beyond the friendship, it's a privilege to be. I'm part of Agric Scholars, but it's also another privilege for me to be a guest on this series. So thank you so very much for having me. Thank you to all the volunteers and everyone working behind the scene to make this a success. So that's with that out of the way. So my scholarships journey started like I would say for masters after my BSc. I was looking for master's scholarship. First I did PTDF. Back to back, they served me breakfast. Then I thought about Chevigny, Commonwealth, and all that. But one day I was coming back from work and a friend sent me a page, a snapshot of the file page that there's a scholarship in Hungary for agriculture. Because after the second rejection from PTDF, I just thought to myself that why not look for scholarships that are agricultural based? Because my first degree is in agric and bioresource engineering. So when I got that newsletter from my friend and I checked and I saw it was the Food and Agricultural Organization in partnership with the Hungarian Ministry of Agriculture, they were offering scholarships to people from over 60 countries, right? And it
Mm,
was tailored specifically to agriculture. For every year, they had two courses. So the only thing is that the course they have this year will not be the course they have next year. So I read through the page. I said I was fully funded, excluding travel costs. So you had to pay your travel cost yourself. So I said, all right, fine. I'm from a very average, humble Nigerian home. So I said, this travel cost cannot be afforded this year. Can we plan towards next year?
next year.
So the next year being 2021 was now the year I finally applied. But I had 2020 to 2021 to prepare all my documents. I knew everything that was needed. I had everything ready. I think that same year, I also applied to the Egypt Japan scholarship in Cairo. So, Egypt Japan University of Science and Technology in Cairo. But they were not so big on agriculture, they were more into IT and tech, basically. That was the first time I was scaling through, like, past the normal first stage and even getting through waiting list. And I was like, oh, that's the finger of God. So yeah, that was actually how I found out about Hungary, and that was how I applied in 2021. I made it through to the interview. I was shortlisted. I had the virtual interview with the board of the committee from the university. After that, I think September, no, July, I got my offer letter, visa, and every other thing.
That's a very interesting one. I think it was just a smooth ride. Like, it's not something difficult to get for you because you had someone to share the opportunity with you, unlike so many people that are not even aware or they don't have that circle of friends. So I think that's another thing we need to be on the lookout for. So try to keep circles of friends that gives you
Exactly.
a lot of
Mhm.
updates and opportunities that you can always harness outside the regular ones that are out there. So yeah, that's a good one. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. Okay, for the scholarship opportunities generally in Hungary, I believe Hungary offers several funding pathways for international students. So, Esther, do you mind like trying to give us a brief overview of what are the major scholarship opportunities that are available in Hungary? Like yeah, maybe the government scholarships or the university scholarship. I know you are there, so you know more than me. So just walk us through what are, in case for our audience that really don't even have a clue of opportunities out there in Hungary. So just tell us what are the opportunities they can explore.
Okay, thank you for that. The major scholarship in Hungary, the first major scholarship in Hungary is what they call the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. So I'm currently on it for my PhD. I was on file for masters. So Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship is a partnership of the Hungarian, it's called the Temples Foundation, the foundation that runs it. And it's a means of the country giving back. It's open to people from, I think, almost all over the world, maybe more than 100 countries, because you have Asia present, you have Africa, you have North America, Latin America, everything. Everybody is present there. So Stipendium Hungaricum is the major scholarship. But Stipendium Hungaricum falls under what we call in Nigeria BEA. That's the Bilateral Education Agreement. So what it means is that it is a bilateral agreement between Hungary and the host country, Nigeria, or Hungary and Kenya, Hungary and Ghana, Hungary and Slovenia, Hungary and Czech, whatever country it is, right? So they have this agreement every time. Currently, Nigeria has an ongoing agreement with them. So that's number one, the biggest scholarship in Hungary, because it has a lot of slots. Kenya has 200 slots every year. Nigeria has, I think, about 100, I'm not sure, 70 to 100 slots. And it covers BSc, MSc, and PhD,
Wow.
right? So it means, well, for the Nigerian application, every country has their own process. So for Nigeria, you need to apply on the Stipendium Hungaricum website, which is closing on the 15th of January, if I'm correct.
Okay.
And then ideally, like I said, when I applied, after you apply there, then you have to apply on the Federal Scholarship Board's website back in Nigeria. But interestingly, we have a minister, Dr. Holy Spirit, remind me his name, Tunji Alausa, who in 2024, 2025-ish, made a statement that the federal government was no longer going to sponsor bilateral agreements. So bilateral agreement means that Hungary is going to cover tuition, is going to cover trying to get you accommodation, but majorly tuition and basic stipend of like about $100 a month, while your host country being your home country being Nigeria is supposed to cover subsistence cost, living allowance of $500 a month. So the minister, in his wisdom, said that it was too expensive for the government. So going forward, the kind of agreement they want to have are agreements that the host country offering the scholarship is going to pay the student 100%, is going to take care of everything for the student. So in 2025, that was last year, we had Nigerian students that came on stipendium scholarship, but with no financial support from the federal government. So when I came, the federal government booked our flights. We were entitled, our offer letter, we were entitled to about $6,000 a year and some other benefits, of which has not been paid. But the new set that came in 2025 don't even have that. Yes, if you are currently on social media, you can see all the whole dragging on VDM's page, because the bilateral agreement covers Hungary, Morocco, Algeria, Russia. You have Nigerian students almost everywhere, because there are like lots of countries that are involved in the BEA. So it's everybody that is lumped up in the whole non-payment and non-fulfillment of the promise. But this year, Nigerian students can still apply for stipendium. So you apply on the stipendium page, you finish your application. I saw on the Nigerian students in Hungary, our student WhatsApp group, that they didn't advertise on the FSB page. So what they are doing is you print out your slip, your application slip from the stipendium page, and you are required to submit it at the Federal Scholarship Board in Abuja, because Nigeria would still be the one to nominate. So the Federal Scholarship Board in Abuja, that's the Ministry of Education, is still the one to nominate students for Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship this year. So that's the major scholarship. The second most popular one is what they call Christian scholarship, but that one is it's not open to everyone. It's open to only Christians. And one of the major goal is like for Christians all over the world that are persecuted in their home country or don't have access to some things, because you will need a recommendation letter from your bishop or your priest or your pastor. So that one is the Christian scholarship. The third one are university specific scholarships. So there are over 100 universities, and every university, or rather some universities, have different scholarships. So there's no one name for all of them. It's at the discretion of each university. You have to go to each university's website to find out. I'll give you an example for my university. I am with the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and we have what we call MISP, MISP. So the acronym for my university, the name Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences in Hungarian is MATE, MATE. So MIXP is the MATE International Scholarship Program, which is for international students that have never schooled in Hungary, that are high flyers. They can benefit from that scholarship, and the school will cover 50% tuition while you pay 50% tuition. So for example, you're coming for a master's, which is 2 years, right? School is going to pay for 1 year and you pay for 1 year. So that's mixed. There are some universities in Budapest that offer different scholarships, some fully funded with even stipend. University of Debrecen also have like some rebates they can give, or like reduction in tuition and all that. So these are like the three major ones I know of, or that are open for everybody to apply, and Nigerians are also eligible to apply for it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. So I believe we've been able to take our notes about these opportunities. I think in one way or the other, she was even able to break down each of these scholarship to know which one is more advisable to apply for anytime you are looking out for opportunities in Hungary. So thank you so much, Esther, for that. But just to take it a little bit step forward about how to navigate the scholarship application process. I know for the university, it's actually varies. So we might not focus more on the university scholarship because it's actually different from one institution to another. But then
Yeah.
I think you mentioned one, which is the Hungarian scholarship, the Christian scholarship, as well as the FAO Hungarian government scholarship. So for a student that is actually interested in applying for one of the scholarship, I know for we that we are from Nigeria, we might be having issues with the bilateral agreement, but I know that might not be the case for other people that are not within, they are not from Nigeria specifically, or having issues with their own country. Our country is a blessed one anyway. So
Very, very blessed. Very blessed country.
so what is the first step? How should they approach the application process? Maybe we can start from the stipendium itself and we can go forward to the Christian scholarship. It's specifically for Christians, and I know we have a Christian audience out there, and maybe we can also shed more light about the scholarship. At least we are agri scholars, and I'm sure we also have people that are also from the agricultural field that can take advantage of that as well.
Okay, thank you. So for the stipendium scholarship, every country has their own protocols and their own modality for applying. But one thing is certain, you have to apply on the stipendium website. So I don't know, Bola, can you help me post it in the chat? Although
Yes,
it is
it is
actually
there. I
closed.
already posted it. Is in the comments before we
Okay,
start.
perfect. Okay, perfect. So Bola has already posted it, so thank you. Although this is closing on the 15th, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
So stipendium is the first thing you see when you click on that link would be it asks you if you are a citizen. You shared the link from Ireland, so most times it will ask you, are you an Irish national?
It's in-
And you have to say yes or no. So you say no, you are Nigerian. Then it asks, you can now see sign in, log in, create an account, all those. So when you create an account, you see multiple programs available: BSc, MSc, PhD. So it depends on what you're interested in applying. Every country has what they call catchment topics, like the topics they are interested in students taking up for every year. For example, there was a year that Nigeria was very interested in ICT. So they had more slot for people going into ICT than any other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you can see some schools are available for me to see as a Nigerian, but as a Ghanaian, you cannot see it because Ghana's focus for that year might be something else. Ghana might be focused on agriculture, while my country is focused on ICT. So I would see more ICT universities, while you would see more, the Ghanaian will see more agricultural universities. So there's that one for like PhD. But for BSc and MSc, you need to upload your basic scholarship requirements. You need to upload a motivation letter, your transcript. You can actually use your unofficial transcript. That's your student copy, right? I am doing a PhD now. I don't have my official transcript. I have never seen it. I don't know what it looks like. I've schooled in FUTM now, so I've always used my student copy for application. And they will ask you for English proficiency. Luckily, you're from Nigeria, or if you're from an Anglophone country, your school can issue what they call language of instruction certificate, and it will be accepted. You don't necessarily need to do a TOEFL or IELTS, right? So your school can issue that your language of instruction during your study period was in English. For some people, their place of work can say, okay, your language of communication or where you work is English. You would need that. If you're applying for a PhD, most times you need to upload like a research proposal. What do you want to research on? But also there is another website whereby the Hungarian Academy of Science, or no, the Hungarian Academy universities upload all the topics that are available for supervision for every year. So you can go there, check the topics and check the supervisors. The name of the supervisor will be there. The topic is there. The address, the email address, at least the contact would be there. If you're interested in any of the topics, though sometimes it may not really be up to date, but there is a website for that. So for PhD, some schools would require you to get an acceptance letter from a supervisor saying, I am going to supervise you. That's for PhD, not for MSc. So my university, MATE, usually request for that. Some other university don't request for that. So it depends on what school you are applying for. For the first phase, these are like the basic documents you need after your home country. So after December 15th, all these lists are collected. If you filled everything, every subsection, you made sure it was filled. For the parts that required you to upload documents, either you click that you've submitted the documents and the transcript. So if you're from Togo, from Ghana, from Togo, Cameroon, for example, like Francophone countries where your certificates are in French, you need to upload the original and the translated copy in English. So when you finish uploading, you have to click up on the links that I have uploaded the documents. By the end of 15th of January, when the applications have closed, you would get a email notification saying that you have passed through the technical phase, like the technical check phase. What it just means is that your application was complete. So that means you uploaded every necessary document, you filled every part they said, fill this, fill that. Now, the next thing is they'll tell you that they have submitted your list to your home country, who in turn is responsible to now nominate the students that they feel are eligible based on the home country's own criteria. Because for you passing through the technical check, it means you've met the conditions for Hungary. Then the home country says, okay, fine, we nominate XYZ number of students and sends it back to Hungary. Depending on the school you applied to, if you applied to Budapest BME, for example, or you apply to, I'm sure of BME, this is the one I'm sure of. Some universities write written admission exams before they give admission. That's after you have been nominated. So after you've been nominated, you are invited to write a written exam for schools like BME. My school does an interview. You sit in a panel. If you're coming for PhD, the doctoral secretary is there, your proposed supervisor is there, and one other neutral person. You explain your research proposal, what you intend to do. They ask you questions, and then they try to see if you understand what you say you want to do. For some other schools, you write a written exam, and after the written exam, the result comes out. So if you pass, congratulations. If you don't pass, You try again next year. But the good thing is you can apply to 2 schools, I think 2 to 3 schools. For me, I always for stipendium for PhD, I just applied to one school, the same school. I didn't change the school. So maybe you might have missed the application exam. Maybe you didn't pass for the first school, the second choice, like we do in JAM, first choice, second choice university. Maybe the second choice of university you might have passed. So good luck. You can be offered admission for that. So this process and this website is the same website that is also used for, I think it's Dream Apply. That's the same website that the Christian Scholarship also uses. So for the Christian Scholarship, you create an account, you apply, but the difference now is that aside the motivation letter and everything you submit, you need to now get a letter of recommendation from a priest. Most times they say from your religious leader. I hear people say a Catholic priest or bishop carries more weight. Hungary is, in quotes, predominantly a Christian country on paper and mainly Catholics also. So when you submit that, the other downside to the Christian scholarship is you can't apply for PhD. Like I cannot apply for PhD on Christian scholarship if I wasn't on Christian scholarship for my master's.
Okay.
So if you did it for master's, then you can use them for PhD. But if you're just coming into the system, it doesn't work that way. That's one of the major difference from for the Christian scholarship. For FAO scholarship, okay, maybe I should give us time to digest this one, then we'll go to FAO scholarship.
Okay, that's a good one. Actually, I'm enjoying it and I'm able to follow Edson with the breakdown for each of the scholarships. So I don't know if you might want to go ahead with that.
Okay, so for the FAO scholarship, it opens every year from 15th of January to around 15th, 20th of January to 28th of February. So applications are usually open. I'm just going to put the link for the 2025 section. Like, not that that is the current link. That's not the link for now, but if you look at it, you can actually use it. You can just check the page and you see the one for the 2026. So usually it opens around mid-January to end of February, most times. That's how it works.
Okay.
So for FAO scholarship, the way FAO scholarship works is that every year they change the courses that you can apply for. The courses you can apply for are changed. I'm going to share my screen just briefly, nothing special. This is like one of the easiest scholarship in my opinion. Just give me a minute and I want to take it to the list of countries and the courses, and I will share that with you just now. So if you go to your browser and you type FAO Hungarian Government Scholarship, this page will pop up. If you can see my screen, just wave at me in the charts. If you can see my screen, let me see. So that
Yeah,
I know.
please just drop a comment if you can see the screen. So we are trying to make it as practicable as possible so you guys can understand what to look out for.
You can get the links on YouTube. Okay,
Or
no problem.
maybe you can try to go to the LinkedIn channel. I don't know. Or maybe someone can just copy. Let me see if I can copy the link from LinkedIn to YouTube then.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. That works. So this is the file page, right? This gives you just a general overview of the scholarship. It tells you that for the 2025-2026 academic year, they were offering 2 courses for the scholarship, which was a master in aquaculture at the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and then a master in animal husbandry engineering at University of Debrecen. Now, this scholarship is open to people from Afghanistan, Albania. I don't know, can you still, yes, the list of eligible countries. You see, like there are lots of countries here: Egypt, Ethiopia, Gambia, Georgia, Ghana. So it's not only Nigeria or African countries. There are a lot of countries. But the selection process just looks quite simple. It says the phase one, you submit a dossier to file with to an email address. I'm going to share it in the next page. Then the school goes through all those applications, selects a number of students, and has an interview with them. After the interview, then they would select the people they are offering the scholarship to based on citizenship and residency of one of the eligible countries, excellent school achievement, English proficiency, motivation, good health, and age. Candidates under 30 are preferred because this is just for MSc. So for them, they have like an age restriction. They prefer candidates under 30 for this one. So let's go to the share the tab. Let me see. Okay, fine. So this is the form. This is the application form for FAO scholarship. This is where you are filling everything. So there are two courses. The first course, which is a master in aquaculture, is actually tagged E1, and the master in animal husbandry is E2. So on this first page, you're either ticking this one, E1 or E2. You have to print out this form or you fill it virtual, you fill it online, anyone that works for you. You affix a passport photograph.
I'm sorry, Esther. Somebody is saying it's blurry, but please, we are going to drop the link, and maybe after the session, you can click the link and have access to the form for yourself.
Oh, if you click on this link Bola shared, right? The FAO Hungarian government scholarship. If you check there, I've downloaded the document so you can download it. So this one I'm sharing now is the downloaded application form.
So that
So
is,
you
I think she's reading it out, so you guys can follow maybe what she's saying if you can't see the page clearly.
okay. So you just fill out the basic details, your name, date of birth, mother's maiden name, passport number. I don't think there's anything special in this form. That just education. Where did you attend secondary school? Where did you attend university? Yes, like I mentioned, there are two courses that are being offered. The master in aquaculture is the E1, and then the master in animal husbandry engineering is the E2. So you either pick E1 or E2. And then see here, this tells you that what we're covering your monthly stipend, we're covering health insurance, we're covering tuition, we're covering accommodation, but we're not going to cover travel costs. Oh, I understand why the person said it's blurry. Let me zoom in. Okay, this should make it better.
Yeah.
Okay, this should make it better now. I guess it's better now for you to see. Sorry about that. So for the FAO scholarship for masters, they are not covering transport costs. And then this year, we don't know what courses are going to be available because it has not opened yet. So by January 15th, between 15 to 20, we'll see which courses are available for this year. Now the next page talks about your language proficiency. You are a Nigerian. If you're a Nigerian, for example, or you're from Ghana, your language proficiency here should be excellent. Level and name of official exam, you say like it's your mother tongue, you're a native speaker. That would fly. Are you working currently? Here might be a bit tricky. So I would recommend, this is not, don't quote me, but I would always recommend that if you're feeling occupation, let's say you're already done with your BSc because this is for masters. I believe while waiting for masters, one of the way to boost your profile is volunteering and internship. So if you're volunteering or you're doing internships in agricultural related courses or agricultural related organization, you stand a better chance, my personal opinion. Because if you're applying for a position and I see name of employer and address, and maybe you're working in let's say you're applying for MSc animal husbandry, but you're currently working in accounting. I don't know if there's a relationship between animal husbandry and accounting, as compared to somebody applying for it and the person is doing internship or volunteering with an animal husband or Obasanjo farms in the animal section or something relating to animal husbandry. So I think that's one thing. I'm not saying fake your job, no, but I'm saying as you're planning to apply, think about it. Even if the job is not yet there, you can still volunteer. You can still do internship in things relating to agriculture that would help boost your profile. Because mind you, you're not the only one applying. You saw that there are over 60 countries. So the competition is stiff, but the only difference is that the competition is not as high as stipendium because this is just specific to agricultural courses and maybe just two courses. Stipendium is everybody, every course. Fellowship previously awarded. If you are a member of any fellowship, have you studied or worked in Hungary? What are your plans after you complete your studies and any other comments? Here you can sell yourself. I intend to go into academia after my studies. I intend to come back home and do like a set up a company, or I intend to go into the industry. Whatever it is that is your plan, or you want to do further studies, and then any other comment. So this form must be completed in English because these are English taught courses. And but to the application form with selected course indicated, you have to attach a copy of your transcript, a copy of your certificate of English proficiency, your data page of your passport, a letter of recommendation from your school, workplace, if employed. For me, I think I used from my school and from my supervisor for BSc, statement of motivation, why are you applying for it, health certificate issued by a medical doctor. So you can get this, what's it called? Even if you're under the NHIS or even in FCT, you can get a health fitness certificate. Yes, in health, in just healthcare. At least a healthcare can even issue this one for you. It's a health fitness certificate you can get. I want to talk about the certificate of good conduct issued by the Nigerian police. To me, I think that's the only expensive thing in this application. Previously, you had to go to the state CID where they get to stain your fingers and thumbprint and everything. But thank God, now the Nigerian police have digitalized the process. So you don't even need a human interference. So what they mean by certificate of good conduct is police character report. If you travel, most times you need a police character report to say that you've not committed any crime in your home country, you're not being investigated for any crime in your home country. But I think I'll send you the link on WhatsApp. I am having trouble sending in the chat for
Okay.
whatever reason today. So it's called the POSAP. I can spell it POSSAP. So if you type POSAP in a browser, you will see the page for the Nigerian police force. It's a third party. It's outsourced to a third party. So that's where you apply for your police character report. And on this page, you feel if it is. Let me just show you. You feel if it is. Share this tab instead. So this is the POSAP page. I don't know how tiny it is right now. Let me see the restream. Okay, I think it's legible to an extent. So this is POSAP's page, and you can request for whatever. Okay, so you can request a service, get started. Who are you? I'm an individual. What, so you can either log in or you can start the process with either your NIN or BVN. My advice I'm going to give here would be, please make sure that your NIN or BVN, whichever one you want to use, the name on it is the same name and arrangement. Listen, the same name and arrangement as on your passport. I will give you examples. My name is Idogwu Esther Ijoma. Last name Idogwu. First name Esther. Middle name Ijoma. That's how it is on my passport. Now, if my NIN has it as Idogwu Ijoma Esther, right? Last name is Idogwu, first name is Ijoma, middle name now is Esther. These are two different people. They are not the same people based on the name arrangement. So if I go and do my POSAP, my police character report with that, depending on the visa officer, your visa officer that is going to treat it. They might flag that. And it doesn't make sense that you've gone through distress, you've gotten scholarship, then you will not allow village people to come and be the thing that is fashioned against you. No, 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 no. We don't do that here. So make sure that either your BVN or your NIN, whichever one you want to use to create your to request for your police character report, is the same name arrangement as it is on your passport. And if it is not, you can easily correct it. Now, NIN has a web app that allows you to correct a lot of things and all that. So I think that's the only document here that would be a bit expensive. It should be around, so when my friend did it, it was around 30,000. I don't know for now. And you don't need to pay anybody any tip. You fill that thing on that website, upload everything they ask you. They're going to send you a form. You stain your fingers, thumbprint, send it back to them. No, no. If you're in Nigeria, you don't have to thumbprint and send to them. They would tell you to go to a police office or a state CID or anywhere. They would direct you to a police office in your city or your state to go and capture biometry. And once you capture the biometry, you get your police character report in your email. We know the Nigerian system, but I'm putting it out here that you don't need to pay anybody for a police character report. If you go to the state CID or whatever police station they address you to and somebody's asking you to pay, send an email back to the POSAP email. They will reply you and they will fix it. My friend had that issue and she didn't pay any dime. She just paid the money on the official website. They told her to go to state CID. The first time she went there, some people were trying to play smart, but she reported back to the email and she got her police character report. I think it takes like 2 days or 3 days. Just very few days. It doesn't really take time. If you're outside Nigeria, it's even faster. Yes, now if you're outside Nigeria, it's even faster because they will send you a form, you fill it yourself, you thumbprint yourself, and you email it back to them. They even have a WhatsApp number to chat them. And they reply. I tried chatting them because me, I was surprised. I was like, could this be Nigerian police? But they were very responsive. Very, very, very
Right, because of
responsive.
our time, so would like to continue to other aspects. Sorry to interrupt. So I believe most of us have been able to get a more detailed process for the FAO scholarship out there. So this I posted the link. You can have access to this Google form. So this is you just need to fill this form and attach all the supporting documents. And I think Esther has done a bit of justice to most of the items you require, although I'm going to ask her a bit of question later on about the CV and the motivational letter for FAO scholarship. So because these are one of the deciding factors for most scholarship application out there, I think for the police report, she has done justice. For the health report, she has also done justice to that. So it's as good as you trying to get access to this information and try to find a way around it and put in for the application. Is one of I think one of the straightforward application you can make through for the Hungarian scholarship landscape. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. And sorry, I know we might be making it a bit specific to Nigeria, but you can always try to look out for how this relates to your own countries in terms of getting all these
Oh,
documents.
sorry to interject. For FAO, is the same for everybody, irrespective of your country.
Yeah, so that's just it. I'm sure we get it clear. So now I think you've done justice to FAO. I don't know if you have access to enlighten us more about the Christian scholarship as well as the stipendium. Maybe they also have a application form or how to navigate the portal as well.
Okay, I would share my link. I'll share a new screen in just 1 minute. Can you allow me answer just one question from the comment, or we'll go to it later? Which one works for you, Bola?
Okay, let's just take this one more question. Normally I try to leave it till the end, but then we
Okay,
can
we
just
can leave it to the end. Let me just
take this
open the
one.
stipendium page. Okay, so share this tab instead.
So Oluwatobi, kindly stay tuned with us. We don't want questions to interrupt the session, so we are trying to round up as soon as possible now. Then we open the floor for questions. But if you have questions, please keep popping them up in the comment section so we can have everything down and we can take the questions immediately after the um, discussion.
All right, so this is the stipendium page, right? Once you click on it, wherever you are, currently I'm in France. So that's why it's asking me if I'm a citizen of France. So no, I am not. I am a Nigerian. So if you open this link in Nigeria, it wouldn't ask you this question. So this is what the page looks like. I already have an account, but basically when you look at it, this is the home page. Now we want to apply for scholarship. I am a Nigerian and I want to apply for scholarship. I can choose to find the programs that are available to Nigerian, the institutions I can apply to as a Nigerian. I can sign in and register an account. I can decide to read the guide or whatever it is. So I have an account already. So let's try to sign in. So if you're a new applicant, you just need to fill in your email, create a password, and it sends to you an OTP. So I won't be able to do that because I already have an account with them. But let me show you what it is like for a new user. Will anybody volunteer their email address? Let's use. If there's a volunteer, let me zoom in. Or if we don't have time, I can just go back
Yeah,
and
because
use
of
my.
our time, let's just go ahead, Esther. Try to, I'm
Oh,
sure it's going to be a straight up process for anyone that wants to sign up for the first time. So
so
it's
I
be
I have
difficult.
an account, so I just go and I'm not a new applicant. I already have an account with them, so I just continue with my account. I hope I remember. Okay, yep, perfect. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is my account, right? I have expired application, whatever it is. So let's say I want to apply for a new program. So find a program I want to apply for. In here, I can decide to choose a filter. I'm applying for the 2025, 2026, 27 academic year. I'm applying to a full program, not a partial program. I'm applying to programs that are taught only in English just to save everybody the stress. Just English
You
taught.
can deselect all and choose one.
Yep. So that's all, right? What type of program am I applying for? I'm applying for programs in agriculture. Let's just see what are the options. Find. So I have University of Szeged, Sustainable Agriculture, 4 semesters. For masters, I have Bachelor of Arts in Agricultural Engineering, University of Szeged. So these are all the programs that are eligible. I can go down and down the page. If I'm interested in any of this program, I just need to click here, apply. If I click on apply now, you have some yes, clone. So I have previously updated my details. So I can decide to use the previous details I've uploaded to fill this, or no, I want to start a fresh application. So this is how the page looks like. This is for a BSc program. I have to the next 5 days to finish it up. Priorities, profile, I have to fill my name, maiden name, family name, passport number, and all this. Then contact information, your contact information, email address, education, previous education. Have you schooled in Hungary? Level of education, studies, official institution, different things about just your education, date of issues. Language, do you speak? What language do you speak? Are you going to study in Hungarian or are you going to study in English? Employment, what are you doing? Activities. So this is for if you have any other activities that could support your application. So this is where you put things like internship, volunteering. This is where you put them that would support your application for whatever field of course you are applying for. Residences, where do you live? Have you stayed for more than 1 month in another place? Let us know. Your motivation, why do you want, they've already given you the point and they don't like to read plenty story. There's a word count for this if I'm correct, yes. So you have to answer these questions. That's basically what they're asking you. Answer these questions in here. You have 150 characters, but not more than 4,000. Answer it within here. I would suggest you type it somewhere else in Microsoft Word, do your word count there, then just copy and paste here. Then documents. This is where you have to upload documents. No document has been uploaded. I'm expected to upload whatever document I'm uploading, you will see here. But there's a checklist. That's the good thing.
Okay.
So I have not uploaded anything. It can block your application. So this is your passport, mandatory medical certificate. You don't need to upload this because this is only after you've gotten the scholarship that you upload that mainly. Proof of language proficiency. Yes, you can upload a medium of instruction certificate here. High school transcript of record, any other additional documents that needs to be submitted. So you can see the option here. So for people that schooled or their certificate is in non-English speaking countries or their certificate is not in English, you have to click I have uploaded the original and the translation, because in here they will require they require all certificates to be in English. Other section and capiche, that's all. You click on submit.
So that's it. It makes it very straightforward. So I think one of the very interesting thing, like among other sessions we've done, we've been able to actually walk people through the process. Like, okay, share the screen. What's the process involved? Let's discuss it together. And I was even trying to ask her to discuss more about motivation letter, but seeing how it's presented on the page, I think is very clear because they ask specific questions on what they want to see. So it's up to you to just try to answer each of those questions and make sure it aligns maybe to their teams or maybe the course you are also applying for. So that's a very good one. Can we get something for the Christian scholarship? I know we are trying to rush out of time. So we've covered the FAO scholarship and we've also covered something for Hungarian scholarship. I know once you submit for the stipendium, it's now up to, because it's a bilateral agreement, so it's up to your home country to now nominate you for the scholarship. Then from there, they can also take it up. So it's very important we actually emphasize on that. Okay, Esther, do you want to?
So the Christian scholarship review is the same with the stipendium. So
Okay, the same
the
form.
Outlook is the same platform, the same Dream. What's it called again? Dream View something. Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I think the only thing they just that might be different with other scholarships is because they reserve it specifically for those that are Christian. So
yeah, exactly.
if you, is there something that the for the recommendation letter from the priest, is there something that needs to be mentioned there? Is it like, okay, just I'm just a Christian, or
I
what
think
is
they
it?
might need just give me a minute. I think they might need something like you are a very active member of the church or something like that. Like for a priest to recommend you, let's just be sincere, for your pastor to recommend you, first of all, you cannot just be one Sunday in 1 year member. For a pastor or a priest to recommend you, it means you're an active church member. So such are the things that will be in the recommendation letter. They're going, like the priest or the pastor has to say things like how you've been helpful to church, how your service has been helpful, and how he or she believes that you getting this scholarship will just help you to attain the best version of yourself. They are vouching. Recommendation letter means like I'm vouching for you. So if there's a problem, they should come to me. Like I'm putting my integrity on the stake to say, this is my son, this is my daughter, he is good, he's done XYZ things, and this scholarship would help him achieve this XYZ thing. So that's what that one is. I'm
All
trying
right.
to
So
share my screen.
thank you so much
Yeah.
for that. Maybe in 1 to 2 minutes, I just want you to, maybe this will be my last question as far as the application process. Okay, this for the Christians. Um,
Yes, the Christian scholarship is closing today, January 10th, 2026, until 11:59 p.m. So I think if anybody had his documents prepared before this webinar, the person can shoot their shot and try to apply. This is the Christian scholarship page. If you click to apply, Applying now. I know it uses the same, yes, it uses the same interface as Stipendium. So it's the same signing, the
Oh,
same
okay.
thing.
All right.
Yeah,
So
it's the
I
same
think
thing.
that's just it. And in case you are not able to meet up tonight, maybe because you are hearing about it for the first time, you can give it a shot for next year so you can start preparing for
Yeah.
opportunities around Hungary in next year. So it's not a do or die affair. We are just trying to bring to your awareness the opportunities that actually exist at the moment in other countries like Hungary. Yeah, so in maybe 1 to 2 minutes, I just want you to highlight what are the key things like would be of importance to people when it comes to CV writing and motivational letter for Hungarian scholarship opportunities. What are the reviewers looking for? So you can take it both from the perspective of the FAO scholarship or the stipendium, because yes, you applied for the two. So you can just give us more insight. What are the things to watch out for or to avoid when crafting this application document?
They are not so keen on your CV, in my opinion, because they do not ask you to specifically use Europass. I've had applications, I think it was Erasmus also I was applying for, and it was specific that I use this fashion Europass. But I think a basic simple CV would be okay. A CV that has your academic qualifications, then your work experience would fly. We just want to know because FAO is for MSc. We want to know you already have a BSc, and after BSc, what have you done? That's it. For motivational statement, there is no one rule that fits all, but tell your story in a way that even a 5-year-old can believe without mumbling. That's how I would define it. Tell your own story. Why do you want this scholarship? Imagine you're standing in front of Elon Musk and you are pitching your tech solution to him. So why should he invest in you when he is the chief of tech or something like that? Right? So tell your own story in your own words. So for the motivation letter, I would say explain why this scholarship is important to you, what it means to you, and how achieving this scholarship will help you achieve your long-term goal in your own words. The way I will say it will never be the way Omobolanle will say it, will never be the way Daniel or Nkechi will say it, because we're all different. We have different experiences as individuals. So use your experience as an individual and your own words and personality and bring everything to play in a motivation letter. Don't make it too wordy or too lengthy. Stipendium clearly said 400 characters. If it's above, it will not even submit. So that's the truth.
Okay, yeah. So that's one important thing we need to emphasize on most of our sessions, because I've seen a lot of people struggle when it comes to writing motivational letters or CVs, and it's just the honest truth. It's like someone telling you, write your story, the story of your life, and there is no way somebody else can help you write it, even AI or other tools out there. You just need to write it in your voice, in your own tone. Yeah, I know structure matters, clarity, the flow, how you articulate it and everything, but then, yeah, nobody has a perfect story. So just try as much as possible to give it your own originality, and you're able to communicate the importance of your story to the scholarship panel. Yeah, thank you so much, Esther, for that insight. Going forward, I just want us, I know you mentioned it when we started, or maybe for the sake of those that just join in, and just to emphasize on what are these scholarship benefits for each of these scholarship that we've mentioned so far, and which one would you advise? I know, like for instance of the scenario of Nigeria now, that we are having like $100 for the how do I call it, stipend for Hungarian, which is not enough to actually carry people through. So it's not like we are selling what is not for people out there. We need to tell them what is actually the details, what life is all about, and what scholarship should they actually look out for. So yeah, maybe you can want to make more details about the benefits, the pros and cons for each of the scholarship.
Okay, so I'll start with FAO, then we go to stipendium. So FAO is for MSc, and for FAO, so when I was in FAO, we were paid 80,000 forints a year. I like a very interactive class, so I would ask you to convert that basically on Google. So don't convert to Naira because you're not living in Nigeria, you're living in Hungary. So convert 80,000 forints to USD. That was what we were paid as of when I came. And then, mind you, there's inflation. As of when I came in 2021, that was equivalent to 250 USD. Right now, it is not up to that amount. As at my set had to do a protest and all that, so they increased the money to 90K. That's the last I heard of it for FAO. So for FAO, they cover your tuition, which is for my tuition, it was 14,000 euros for 2 years, 3,005 per year, per section. I'm sorry, per semester. So for per session was 7,000. So FAO covers your tuition, it covers your basic health insurance. You have the same health insurance as a Hungarian. It pays your accommodation fees, and then it gives you a monthly stipend of around 90,000 forints. So for people that are coming to my school, which is Mate, your accommodation is covered. You are sure of accommodation, mainly if you are coming to campuses like Keste, if you're going to Godolo, thereabouts, the if you're going to Godolo and some other of the campuses, you might have accommodation issues. So first advice is when you're picking this course in FAO, make sure the school you're picking has accommodation and you're sure of accommodation in those schools. Debrecen is very competitive. It's one of the biggest university in Hungary. And accommodation, I think, is just for 1 year for guarantee. Not even everybody gets accommodation for the first year. Because I usually go to welcome new students. So I am the ambassador for PhD students. And I've gone to welcome some new students. And when they arrived in Hungary, they don't have accommodation. I will give you an idea of an average of how much is house rent. If you are coming to my school, Godolu, and you don't have accommodation, you want to stay off the campus, you should be budgeting roughly 100 and above, 100,000 forint and above per month, not per year, for accommodation. And how much is your stipend again? 90K. So where are you going to augment that? If you're going to Debrecen, 100 plus averagely for accommodation. So FAO still has some good perks provided you get accommodation in your university, you're good for FAO. The 90,000 for subsistent cost for you yourself, it's okay because FAO does not cover family members. So if you now intend to bring your family member, that's actually not possible because there's no family unification in Hungary. Newsflash, there's no family unification in Hungary. You cannot bring your family, BSc, MSc, PhD, no family unification. So it is you, yourself, and you. So if it's just you yourself, that money will be enough for subsistence costs for a month. But if you are the breadwinner of your family back home and you need to keep sending money back home, then you might need to augment with maybe student jobs to be able to, we Africans sometimes have a belief that once somebody travels, they give them money at the airport. So they just believe you have money because you're in the abroad. It's okay. We listen, we don't judge. Stipendium, if you are lucky to get stipendium, irrespective of your country, for BSc and MSc, what they pay you is 43,000 forints a month. And if you don't get accommodation in your hostel, they give you an additional 40,000 forints for accommodation. So let's say you don't get accommodation, you get a total of 83,000-ish. If you are in Budapest, that cannot pay rent. Even if you're living in 15 people a room, it can't pay your house rent. You have to either get family support from back home to be able to pay your rent, or you have to work to pay your rent. So everybody, you know where you are standing. I will call stipendium semi self-funding for BSc and MSc because of the amount of money they pay. So if you have another means of support, then that would work for you because you'll be able to sustain yourself for that period. Because 43,000 forint only for feeding, you might even finish it in a month. Talk more of having some things for other things. If you're coming in for PhD on stipendium, for your first 2 years, you're going to be paid 140,000 forints. If you're staying in the hostel, that's 140. If you're not staying in the hostel, that's 180. That is average. You can survive on that money. But if you are going to pay rent in Budapest, Debrecen, Győr, the big cities, it might be a case of one of my PhD students that as the stipend from the scholarship comes, she's sending it to her landlord because nothing else. Her rent is 180, and that's what comes in 180. So she still needs to work to do other things. So pick your poison, weigh the scale, which one works for you. And even if you say you want to work, also remember you have academic responsibility. So you cannot fail on any of the scholarship. There's a degree to which you fail and they will terminate the scholarship. So you still need to pass and pass with good grades.
Okay, so thank you so much for that. So it's important to make emphasis on something like that. So it won't be like, oh, we came to sell maybe false truths to you guys. So we are going to tell you both the pros and the cons and everything that is involved, because you don't want to go to a country whereby you are stressed mentally. You are not even able to focus on your academic study. So you weigh the cost and see what do I want to go for. You need to do the finding, your research. You have someone like Esther, we have other people that are also there. You can reach out to them. Okay, what's your guidance? How do I go about it? Is this the best choice? Of course, she's there. She got the FAO, she got the stipendium, and she's doing well over there. So that doesn't mean there is no opportunity for you. There's just about you trying to see, okay, where do you fit in for the academic system over there. Okay, so my next questions before we round it up is like, okay, based on your experience or observation, what is life like for international students in Hungary, like in terms of the academic environment? I know you've mentioned a bit of cost of living, cultural adjustments, language, and student support system. So people also have an idea of what to expect about life in Hungary.
Okay, I had a bad experience like for my first few months. So I don't want to spoil people's mindset using my
Please
experience,
don't.
right? Yeah, so I will try to be as positive as possible, right? But I will still be objective. So Hungary doesn't speak English. That's the first thing. Newsflash. So it was the first time in my life that I saw people that don't speak English when I was coming. Because in my head, I'm like, I've shared the story. Bola knows the story. That's why she's laughing. So, in terms of student support, you actually would get a very good student support if you he that wants to be friendly must first show himself friendly. If you integrate with student communities and student associations from your country, every country, Sudan, Kenya, Ghana, everybody has a student association. Ghana is called GASH, Ghanaian Association of Students in Hungary. Kenya has a very strong student community, same thing as Sudan and every Nigeria, even literally, we go to the airport to welcome new students. We do that from our own free will because we want you to have a good experience, right? So there's a huge student community and you can blend in and find your footing. They will give you good guidance, what you can do, because you see people that were previous scholars like you that have gone down this route and they will give you good advice. But at the tail end, it is just for you to take it. So the first things I would say would be weather shocks. Everybody knows that Europe has four climates: winter, autumn, spring, and summer. So if you're coming in winter, like currently it's snowing, so we are on -15 at night. So just imagine that in Jos, people are freezing and you're on -15. The first day I landed was -4. My teeth were shattering. My glasses was here. I was freezing, right? So there's the weather for you to adjust to. There's the lifestyle for you to adjust to. Newsflash, when you go shopping in ShopRite, after shopping, they pack your things and put inside leather and give you, right? Yeah, you pack your things by yourself. Nobody's giving you any leather. You're holding it in your hand. So there's also the fact that Google Translate is your best friend, at least for the first few months. So which means you need to have a good phone that has internet for you to be able to communicate because of the language barrier. So I would say mainly the first challenge is the language barrier. If you cross that and weather when you're coming in the winter, you'll be fine differently, definitely. And then family support from home and from here also helps you. Mental health is it's very important, especially when you're relocating and navigating new environments. Having that support from back home and having a support system in the country, Hungary, like in my school, we intentionally would host Nigerian gatherings. Why? Because we want people to feel like you have a brother and you have a sister here. You can literally talk in those gatherings. You hear people share, I'm having this problem with this course. Somebody that has done that course previously can walk you through it. And that feeling of loneliness is just dropped. So That's what I would say for integration and building community and family in Hungary.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think this we are not saying this so as to make you draw back. It's just a matter of being so objective about what life entails in whatsoever country you feel you want to pursue your postgrad. And for from my own take, I know you can take this as maybe an advice or an opinion. Rather than focus on particular countries, you can just start with a master's program here, like 2 years, maybe 1 years or 2 years master program. I know friends that have studied in Hungary and relocated to
Exactly. Other
other
places.
countries like Canada, UK, like English speaking countries with better opportunities for settlement. But rather than just stick or stuck to one place for years and you are not getting something, at least there's a popular saying that half bread is better than none, right? Because I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I'm looking for scholarships and everything. And that's really the whole essence of this series, because we have a lot of countries. We have over 27 countries in Europe, and trust me, each of these country has a fully funded scholarship for international students. And imagine trying to explore all these opportunities before you explore. I'm sure you should get something. And once you are done, even before you are done, you can start looking out for greener pasture, or how do we call it? So yeah, so don't let all these things that we are saying to draw you back. It's just an avenue to let you know that there are possible options you can explore with maybe one or two little things to address behind the scenes. So thank you so much, everyone. Esther, thank you for the clarity and depth that you've provided so far on opportunities in Hungary. I believe you've been able to enjoy every bit of this session so far. And for everyone that has stayed tuned with us, I just want to appreciate you. Thank you for your time and attention. So now we are going to open the floor for questions from our audience. So please, if you have any questions about any of what we've treated so far, or maybe what we could not even ask, just this is this chance you can take now. Drop it in the comment section, and we are going to take as much as time permits us. We are trying to round up in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah, if you are there with questions, I know some people has also asked questions before, and I'll just try to, for those that I didn't I was able to acknowledge them, I'll just quickly do that. I think I greeted Oluwaseun. Olamilekon, thank you for joining us. Akim, thank you for joining us. Oluwatobi is joining from YouTube, thank you. Okay, I'm saying Mubarak, thank you. You say Nigerian government. Yes, that's our beloved country. Who else is there with us? Jacob is saying greetings to you all. I sent the link to YouTube, I believe so. Ijoma is here. Thank you for confirming that. Ajibola, yeah, I'm sure that has been resolved. Okay. Is this a question? For the FAO scholarships, will a medium of instruction be accepted from Nigerians? I think you answered it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So it has language of instruction certificate. For my university, we call it language of instruction certificate. It's just a certificate that says you were taught in English. That's all.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So this is Leek. Thank you for joining us from South Sudan. Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Um, mm, Gadi Ngala. I hope I pronounced it very well. Okay, so it's talking about motivational letter and the use of AI to develop their ideas and use of good grammar. So I don't know, can you address this question for us?
So I am not against the use of AI, but I am pro ethical use of AI, right? So if you're asking if you can use AI to develop your idea and for use of good grammar, I don't know if you're Anglophone or Francophone, so the English part, because I know we have that problem here too in Hungary, whereby they know what they want to say, but when they write it out, we need to correct a lot in terms of syntax and semantics, right? So what I would say would be, if you're Anglophone, then I would say flesh out your thoughts and get a mentor to teach you, to guide you on what you have written, right? You can ask, even if I say AI to develop the idea for motivation letters, I won't really use an AI to develop the idea. My personal opinion, it might work for you, but for me, I feel I would prefer a humanized thought, like from someone that's already a scholar to guide me on it. Yeah, because my motivation letter for FAO was reviewed by a friend who was already on a scholarship. That's basically how it works for me. Then for stipendium, I didn't need to send it to anybody because they gave you a guideline of questions. Just answer these questions and that's all.
Okay. So that's it for now. So please, when you are writing your essay, try as much as possible to be very ethical with the use of AI, because those that you are submitting it to, they are also using AI, and they can flag out stuff that are written by AI. So you want to show your academic integrity to committees or scholarship committees that will be reviewing your application document. Okay. Um, you asked about the foreigns, and I'm glad somebody did the conversion for you.
So that's so when you see this conversion now, also go and Google cost of living in Budapest or try doing a booking.com for 2 nights and see how much it is. Because I know one time I did booking.com for a friend for like less than 1 week and we're paying over 350 euros for that. And imagine someone is getting 241 for a month.
Okay. So count your cost again. So this is Favor. Thank you from joining us from Nigeria. Thank you, Esther from Lagos. Oluwatebi saying thank you. Ajibola Femi, thank you for the session. Really appreciate. We are so honored to have your feedback. Thank you. Mubarak, yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Israel. Okay, somebody is saying this is my first time here. That's Mubarak right here. So you're welcome, and I'm glad somebody gave you the recommendation. Yeah, so you can always follow our page, follow me on LinkedIn for more updates about the scholarship series. Okay, Victor is asking a question here. So regarding secondary school transcripts, is it possible for a candidate to apply using a transcript from a school different from the one where they sat for the WAEC? And what's the cost of living in PECs?
Fresh.
Thank you for.
Okay. Eh,
I don't know. I don't understand that price, but if you understand, you can just go ahead.
Okay, I'll start from the second one. Pesh is one of the third biggest city. I think it is Debrecen, Buda, Pesh, and I don't remember the third one. Cost of living in Pesh, I would say would be moderate or high. I don't live in Pesh, but um, what I would have thought you would have asked would be if you're coming in as self-funded or scholarship, if you're looking for student jobs to help you support finances. Cost of living in Perch, I know a friend had paid 280 for a two-bedroom apartment. That's the information I have. I have a couple of people on PhD in Perch, and house rent is around 150 and above for a one bedroom or like a minimum place to live. For WAEC results, when you are applying for BSc, it means you're also going to go through that's, I'm assuming you're applying for stipendium. If you're applying for stipendium for BSc, stipendium has a Nigerian Scholarship Board has a rule, that's the Federal Scholarship Board, that your WAEC must be the most recent WAEC. So I wrote WAEC in 2010. I cannot use that result to apply for BSc right now, right? And the WAEC has to be, it's your WAEC you're submitting, not any other thing, not transcript. The transcript they mean for secondary school is your WAEC certificate. So it means your WAEC certificate that you're submitting, and the Federal Scholarship Board in Nigeria sets the condition for the certificate they accept. They accept certificates that don't have D's. I think one time they said they don't accept certificate that has C's. They only accept A's and B's. Yeah, their conditions are quite strict and funny for BSc from the Nigerian Federal Scholarship Board. So it has to be you can only use, I think, 2025 to apply for 2026. You can't even use 2020 to apply for 2026. So it's your WAEC that is the transcript of record, so not another school attending certificate.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know if that answers your questions, Victor, but maybe from another perspective or from my own basic understanding, because I had something similar like that. The school which I finished from was not where I earned my WAEC certificate
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't pass at the first WAEC, so I had to go and rewrite it in another school. And you
School.
know, when you want to say, oh, when you are filling your CV or maybe some other place, you say you attended a particular
This
high
school.
school from so so
Yeah.
so time to so 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 time. So because of
Yeah.
that, I sort of changed my high school where I attended to where I passed my
To
WAEC.
your work.
So I don't know
So
if that was what the
Victor
person is
is
trying to
asking.
ask. So if that's the case, you just need to use your wisdom at or use your discretion. Sorry to say. So yeah, you need to use where you actually got the WAEC certificate.
Yeah, because the transcript for secondary school is your work certificate. So what they ask you most times is not even if you did 6 years there, is the certificate. What's the WAEC result?
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question, Victor. Okay, so Sean, thank you so much for the compliment. We appreciate it. Then somebody is asking for structure's sake, can we get a generic motivational letter? So are you trying to ask for a breakdown of how a generic motivational letter should be or a template? It's not clear, but maybe Esther might want to um, okay. Esther might want to give us a generic okay, the person is asking in a better way. See a generic motivational letter as some form of guide. At the moment, we might not be able to share screen because we are running out of our time, but maybe Esther can just give you a breakdown or explanation of how to structure the motivational letter because for now, I don't think I have a sample ready at hand.
It's not even advisable to share sample because what I've learned in my few years of mentoring scholarship applicants is when you share a sample, people literally try to duplicate that sample. They begin to write their story like your own story, whereas you just shared it as a template. And then, sorry, to go back to the previous question, I am trying to remember my WAEC result. I think on WAEC results, they write that you have stayed 6 years in that school. Right. So mine was 2010. I know somewhere in that WAEC result had that I was in that school from 2004 to 2010, which is 6 years. But actually, for me, I wasn't there for 6 years because I did junior high school in a different school and senior high school. I schooled in FCT, so they splitted JSS and GSS. So there was junior high school, and then the senior was now government secondary school. So just use where you have your wife. Now, coming back to generic motivation letter, I would say use the same structure for a formal letter: introduction, body, conclusion. Introduction, more like a soft landing spot to introduce who you are, your name is this, your background, and all that. Then, body, you're transitioning into why this scholarship is important to you, how it applies to you, what how it will help you achieve your long-term goal and all that. Conclusion is if I get the scholarship, I intend to do XYZ thing. In the next conclude with things like your long-term, short-term goal. So I still remember my motivation letter for FAO. I connected the introduction with my name and then the fact that I did my national service in Benue, which is the food basket of the nation. I saw firsthand post-harvest losses, food wastage, and all that, and I was interested in working in post-harvest losses for my MSc. So I now brought in statistics data and my interest in this in my body. My conclusion had things like at the end of the in the next five at the end of this masters, I intend to further my research in this field by going forward for a PhD because I intend to own an agricultural consulting firm in Nigeria in the next 5 6 years after PhD and be a consultant, not just to Nigerian agricultural sector, but also to file to the UN and something like that. So it's just a flow of this is me, this is the reason why I'm interested in this course. These and other reasons are my core goal for this. And at the end of the day, I intend that when I get this, I'll be able to do this.
Yeah, so beautiful. I think it's a very clear cut explanation there. So it's like your past, present, and future. Otherwise, introduction, body, and conclusion. So just try as much as possible not to over exaggerate. Just tell it the way it is. Your vision, your passion, why you are applying for that course, and what you intend to gain out of the course. And maybe for sake of clarity, this is not the point to start saying, oh, I'm applying for this course because I love the institution. The institution is the number one in the world. Please and please, those are generic reasons for applying for a course. It should go beyond superficial reason. It should be about your motivation to solve a global problem.
Exactly.
This is
That's why I
what most
say
of these
AI.
people are looking forward to. So contribution to maybe one of the sustainable development goals and everything. So just find
Exactly.
something to knit it into to convince them that this is the reason why you are applying for this particular scholarship. Um, somebody's okay. Victor, yeah, thank you so much. We are trying to round up now. Somebody's asking, do you mean only A and B grade will be considered in the WAEC results? I think you can answer that, but I
That's
know it's
yeah,
in the context of, you can go
stipendium.
ahead.
It's in the contest for stipendium Hungaricum for Nigerians. If you check the FSB conditions, I stand to be corrected, but I think they said only WAEC results that has A and Bs are accepted for bilateral education agreement under stipendium, not just only for stipendium, also for other partner countries, Russia, Morocco, and co. Yes, so this is not a generic answer for every scholarship. No, it is specific to a scholarship. No, it's specific to a scholarship. So
Yeah. Okay. So that's just it. And maybe that might not be the case for other countries, maybe their own WAEC
exactly.
results. So just try to check for something that is more suitable to your region. Okay, Bumbarak is asking, please, do you offer paid mentorship? So for now, maybe let me speak on behalf of myself. I'm not offering one for now, but there is a plan to actually do that later in the year. And Esther too is also, we are working towards that to bring out something for the agri-scholar body. So just watch out on, follow us on LinkedIn, the two of us, and you get information about that later on. So that's just it. I hope we've been able to answer your questions. So I'm not seeing any question at the moment. So, and that's a very good one because we are trying to also round up on time so we don't keep many people waiting. So, but just to conclude, sir, what's one final advice that you would like to give students who are interested in Hungary, but they may be facing, maybe they faced previous rejections or they feel they are uncertain about their chances of studying or getting a scholarship in Hungary?
I would say that scholarship application is a marathon, not a sprint. And whether it is Hungary, Slovenia, Romania, Ireland, Finland, wherever it is you're applying for or you're applying to, it's a marathon and everybody's journey is different. Some people can apply for one and they get it, and some people might apply for two, three, four, five, and that the fifth one might be it. So your story and your journey is unique to you. And you don't give up halfway. You don't start something and not finish it. You apply this year, they reject you, not a problem. I believe in iteration, doing different things. Like you applied this year, you didn't get it. Get a mentor, get someone to talk, get someone you can talk to. Paid mentorship, free mentorship, whichever one you can afford. Get a mentor to walk you through that journey, someone that has walked through that journey previously to hold your hands and walk through it. So there are even more scholarships than we know, just that most times we don't do the research. So don't look for the big names, right? Look for scholarships that sometimes even they are fine gold. You don't see diamond on surface. You have to dig deep to see diamond. Leave PTDF, Cheveny, sorry, I'm calling their names. They are big names, but there are other scholarships that people don't even know about. There's Poland, there's one I saw in Poland now, and so many other places, but people don't even know about them. They are just fixated on once I search Google scholarship, it shows me 5 2 names. That's all. You're not going deep to. You're the one looking for something, so you should deep down. I feel this is the best time to be an agriculturist or to be a bachelor or graduate in the whole world, because Mastercard is pumping in crazy money into graduate programs. As at 2021, we just had 1 or 2 MasterCard programs. Now there are over how many tons and tens of MasterCard programs, and the money is there. The money is there also. There's MasterCard in Canada, in US,
Even in
in UK,
Nigeria.
beautiful countries. Like I was telling my friend recently that if I don't already have a master's degree, I would have gone for another master's, because MasterCard is just, people don't even know about it. They just know only the big names. So there's a lot of scholarship. Remove, stay away from the noise. Bend down your head and search for the gold that you're looking for and the diamond that you're looking for. There is a scholarship for everybody. I believe in that. But you need to not give up. Believe in yourself. My story, I had applied from 2016 when I finished university till 2021. Back to back had, in fact, my BSc, if you attended FUT Mina, one thing they know us for is scholarship, because as an undergraduate, there's MTN, there's Agbami, there's plenty scholarship. I've applied for BSc scholarship. They gave me breakfast back to back. But I told myself, you see this life, I will get this scholarship. And now I got 2 for masters and for PhD. I think he will last best. So there's no giving up on it actually.
So that's just the plain truth for you there. So if you think, okay, you are very keen on getting scholarship, there is a lot of opportunities to actually explore. You might not even end up applying for the one we are doing, like the Hungary scholarship. You might look into other opportunities and you get. So like she said, there's always an opportunity for someone out there. It just depends on how far you can search for this opportunity. So yeah, we want to wish every one of you best of luck with your application journey. So don't give up. That's just the key message I want her to mention, and I'm glad she actually did. Oluwatobi, I think he or she managed to get your keyword newsflash. So Scholar Esther, I completed my NYC in Footmina animal
Oh
production.
wow.
So uh,
Interesting.
that's good to know there. Barack, okay. I'm considering finding hidden gems of scholarship. Yeah, that's a good one. You go ahead with that, and we wish you best luck. I don't know. Maybe yes, you need to ask yourself, because this is not about jackpot. You need to be intentional. Is this really what you want?
What I want to do.
Is this what I want to do? Because the resilience here is not the grad school is not for the joke or for the weak here. So you
It's
need
not
to
for the faint-hearted.
not for the faint-hearted, yes. So you need to ask yourself why, and it's going to reflect in your motivational letter as well, because those that are asking you, they also know the reason why you want to pursue it. So yeah. And just to wrap it up here, yeah, I would say no. Most scholarships in Heroes are not partially funded. They are fully funded opportunities. It just depends on which one you want to explore. So there are a lot of full funded scholarship. So it's
Yeah.
up to you to actually decide how you want to navigate the process. But yeah, I believe that's the reason why we are here to actually is it correct that bias or something like that? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's just it. So okay, we are rounding it up here. We finally elapsed our time for the session today, but I think we didn't overshoot too much. So once again, Esther, thank you so much. Esther is my very good friend, sister, and partner in progress when it comes to this PhD journey. So if you've been following the two of us closely, you see like we are more passionate about initiative about agriculture, supporting the agri scholars. So yeah, try as much as possible to follow her, and you will be able to get a lot of tips about grad journey on LinkedIn. So I really appreciate you, sister, for coming on board, my dear friend and my dear scholar. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and knowledge with us. And for
Thank
everyone that
you.
has joined us tonight, I just want to say thank you for being part of this conversation. And I hope this session has been able to provide you with the clarity, the direction, and maybe the renewed confidence you need to explore opportunities. Because I know some people might be weary from maybe what they've gone so far in 2025 and previous year, but maybe with this, you can also pick up your applications again and go ahead with it. And this is also a reminder for us that this session is available on our YouTube channel. So please feel free to revisit it, and you can also share with others who may actually benefit from the session. And once again, our Europe and UK scholarship series continue with more country focused sessions in the coming weeks. So please stay connected and watch out for upcoming announcements. Yeah, and I'm excited to inform you that we are going to be featuring Wageningen University Scholarship for our next scholarship series. And if you know what I mean, that's one of the biggest scholarship or biggest institution you can study in Europe. So I'll be doing that with my fellow colleagues who are also awardees of scholarships opportunity in Wageningen. So watch out, we'll be here on the 24th of January, the same time, 7 p.m. Watts. So you can set a reminder and also invite a friend to come along. So I'll just like to close with a short prayer, as our usual custom. So, our Father and our God, we thank you for this session. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for everything we've gained, the clarity, the direction to be able to navigate our scholarship opportunities. And as for many that will be taking on the valuable insights, the information from this session to apply to their scholarship journey in Hungary, Lord, we pray, Lord, you guide them through the process. And we want to see testimonies that will be evident that, oh, I attended this session, and from this session I listened to, I was able to make it through for my Hungary scholarship. And this will be the case for many of us out there in the name of Jesus. For in Jesus' mighty name we've prayed. Amen. So yeah, thank you so much. The YouTube link, just search for my name. I'm also going to post it on LinkedIn as well. So, but you can search for my name, Omobolanle Kalinikoshi, on YouTube, and it's going to bring it out for you. So on that note, we've come to the end of tonight's session. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. And we want to wish every one of you success and clarity in your scholarship journey. So till we come your way again, have a wonderful evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. So yeah, goodbye, everyone.